Hey Patreon, this is Travis. Thank you for stopping by and watching another episode of me talking about things. First of all, I just want to thank you all for your patronage and for your comments, and keep the suggestions coming. If you need to get a hold of me, there are ways. Email usually works best, but I can put up some other ways for you folks to get a hold of me. That's not a problem. I've also been trying to post, and this isn't something I do for a living or anything, but if I happen to come by a piece of property, in the areas that I go, that seems to be a pretty good price, pretty good deal, whatever, I'll post it on here. I'm not saying that everyone is, but I know a lot of people are looking for land to get out of the cities, and you can still get property around here pretty cheap. In my direct area, and the property around me is considered a little bit better quality property in this county, especially in my area. The soil, it's better farming property. Still well in the Ozarks and the hills and all that. It's just, I actually looked this up on the state, whatever, I don't know, some state website where they did soil samples and stuff around the state, and my county is ranked in like the top 5 or something like that for quality of soil. But you can still get land around here for around $3,000 an acre, bare land, or let's say you're getting a house with 10 acres, you deduct the value of the house, and the rest of the land is about, so 10 acres would be about $30,000. Now south of here, the counties south of here, say like Douglas County, Ozark counties, there tend to be more rugged. Not that there's less people, the per capita or population per square mile is about the same. But the land is just, it's more up and down, up and down, up and down. So that land you can still sometimes get less than $1,500 an acre, usually around $2,000 an acre. Anyways, this is not the point of the video today. I just ramble. I'm just posting stuff on there. So if, the point is, you can still get land pretty cheap. You could easily get a decent little farmhouse, 3-bedroom, 2-bath farmhouse on 10 acres easily. And then I'm not talking a junky farmhouse, a decent, good farmhouse. 10 acres, maybe a couple of outbuildings for under $100,000, very easily. Between probably the $80,000 and $100,000 range around here. So I'm just trying to put that out there for anyone. All right. The point today is we still have hope. Some of the feedback that I'm getting from people, and not just from my YouTube presence and stuff like that, but also face to face. I do actually still communicate with people face to face. I try not to. I have to wear my mask and my shield and no, I'm just kidding. I don't at all. We had to go to a store today, and my wife was joking with me. She goes, "Are you going to put a mask on before you go in?" Anyways, there are people out there that are really starting to struggle. They're struggling because of, I feel like I had a bug on me, sorry. They're struggling because of, the pandemic and lockdowns, and just the it's like we're losing our humanity and our personality and our person-to-person contact and the smiles. When we go out and we go into areas, around here not too many people wear masks, but we're seeing a little bit more and more. But if we have to go into a little bit more populated area, we certainly see them. And there's like the humanity has been drained out of everyone. You can't tell if someone's smiling at you or frowning at you. Those of us that aren't wearing masks, we get looked upon by the mask wearers as, horrible people. Like, how can you be out in public and not wear a mask? You could be infecting me. People aren't getting to see their family. There's people that have been sick in hospitals and even died without being able to see their family. I've personally talked to people that they've had grandchildren and born during all this, and they still have not been able to see them face to face because of restrictions in certain parts of the country. And then you take all that, and the folks that are more woke, and they know what's probably coming around the corner. They realize that it's most likely going to get bad. They see that the global powers and New World Order is really pushing hard during this. Their goal is to take advantage of every aspect of this virus and use it to their advantages. And excuse me, no, I do not have the virus. I have a really dry throat because I haven't had a drink of water in a few hours. They see the things that's happening. They see America that was once a nation that was so prosperous and filled with just goodness. Sure, there was a lot of bad things. Sure, there was a lot of immorality. And we've been dealing with this immorality for several decades now. Since we've been in existence. But I mean, this increasing, this acceptance, this push. But just in the last couple of years, it's like it's gone overboard. It's like there's no restrictions. There's no more lines to cross. They've crossed them all. And I could definitely see where people could start finding themselves getting down. Those of us that believe in the good book, we are still hopeful that the time is drawing nigh for Messiah to return. But how long might that be? It could be months, it could be years, decades, centuries, we don't know. And so we have to endure, which is what he says to do, until his return. And it would be very easy, and it is very easy, because a lot of people are doing it. Their suicides are up, depression is up. It's easy to find ourselves getting down. It's easy to start to feel hopeless, starting to feel overwhelmed. I get that way around here when I look around that, we've started a new homestead at the start of a pandemic. What kind of crazy people do that? Really from scratch too. There wasn't an existing homestead here. And so I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed with the projects that I have here of how to get them all done. And with prices increase, especially lumber, that's taken a big hit on us around here. So where am I going to come up with all the money? When you're doing things on your own, you know how it is. It takes much longer than you expected. And so it's easy to get discouraged and down. We are living in perilous times. I mean, there's just no two ways around it. But it's not, I don't think, a time to give up hope. And while there seems to be, and there is, a lot of negativity around us and a lot of sadness and a lot of reasons to be down, I believe that there is hope. and not just in the hope in the Bible. Most of you here on Patreon know that. But I'm talking about just the hope that mankind can somehow, at least some of us, can take what's been given to us and turn it into something good. Whether it's shaking us up and getting us on the track that we need to be, whether it's helping us realize that we've taken for granted our fellow men. We've taken relationships for granted. We've allowed technology to take the place of personal relationships. And now that is the only way really for many people to have any kind of relationship with someone, it's kind of starting to set in. And so this may be a wake-up call for many of us. I believe that regardless of what happens in this world, there are still always going to be a group of us, a segment of our society that is resisting control, resisting all the stuff that's happening. And maybe within that, there's hope to see that more and more people will wake up. More and more people will see that this path that not just America, but the whole planet, humanity is on, is a dangerous and dark path. I believe there's still hope. I believe this is survivable. I believe that what we are facing is survivable. I know that they have the capabilities of doing a lot of horrible things if they wish to, because they have basically unlimited power, money, and resources on this planet. And you know who I'm talking about, they. And you look around and say, man, can I really fight this with my limited funds and resources and my preps here on this little piece of land? Resistance isn't futile. And I believe through our faith and through each other that there is hope of whatever we are facing, that we can come through this with a positive outcome. So on those days that you're down, those days that you're feeling hopeless and seeing that the world is just losing its mind and becoming more repugnant, know that also along with that there are more and more people that are waking up. They're waking up to what's going on. They're seeing the path that's been taken that was wrong, and they want to see a true change in the path that we've taken. It's America is certainly not spotless. Her history has a lot of blemishes, but for the most part, the early, middle, and maybe even 3/4 of American history, I think at the core, most people had truly good, pure interest at heart. I believe that there was, an effort to become what we had become for good intentions. And then somewhere along the path, this evilness slipped in, and we took a hard left turn. And over the last few decades, that left turn has become more and more normalized and accepted, and it's just become part of our lives. To many people don't even notice the difference anymore. And I think that's a big thing that people are waking up to realize. Not just the truth of what's happening right now, but I think there's more and more people realizing that this path that we are on, that we've been on since, 50s, 60s, this is where it's led us to. And I hope that in the end, as long as we tarry here a little longer, I hope that there is a chance for the good people to finally unite and resist this kind of stuff. Today I was speaking to a friend, and he even said back in the McCarthy era, he said a lot of people looked negatively on him. And, yes, there were some things done that went too far and took too much advantage of the power given to him. But in the end, his ideas, the reason why he was doing it, he was not wrong. Because we stopped doing that. We stopped pushing every possible semblance of communism and Marxism and hard left, ideology out of our country, and we welcomed it. We said, oh, there's enough room in this country for both. And look at where it's led. Because the hard left doesn't want to share a stage with anyone. Most conservatives are willing. They believe that, it's freedom, and it's freedom of thought, and freedom of movement, and freedom of belief. And if you want to be this, you can be that. And if you want to be this, you can be that. And as long as you don't try to change each other or force your will on each other, very libertarian ideas. Most conservatives hold that type of libertarian mindset, whereas the far left does not. You either believe how they believe, serve who they say to serve, and bow who to they say to bow to, or, and there's been tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people on this planet over the last 100 to 150 years that have died because of it. And I have no doubt that there'll be many more dying in the future because of it. And many Americans are now finally starting to wake up to that. So, I do believe that there's hope. I believe this is survivable. I believe that there are hard times ahead. And the good books doesn't promise us that everything would be perfect and everything would be easy and everything would be nice and comfy and cushy and convenient. But it does promise us that we will win in the end, and that He will win in the end. So, if nothing else, there's hope there also. So, anyways, in your daily life, the people around you, the more and more you hear of what's going on, it's easy to get down by it. But do not find yourself being hopeless. It's okay to be in that spot for a while, but remember that in the end, it's kind of like an old spaghetti western. In the end, goodness and good will prevail over evil. We know that to be true. All right, folks, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.